3 weight loss products were added to a federal safety alert this morning. All 3 came from the same seller. A government lab found the same poisonous plant in every one. Most people buying a diet pill are reading the front of the box. The front is an AD. Here's what almost nobody explains about this aisle. The FDA cannot test these products before they go on sale. It buys them afterward. It opens international mail. It pulls samples off web stores. Then it runs them in a federal lab. And when that lab finds a prescription drug that is not on the label, the agency writes it down and publishes it. Publishing is most of what happens next. I read every weight loss notification the agency has published. The findings, the dates, and the column hardly anyone scrolls across to. The one that says what the company did about it. We're counting down 8 of those products. Then 4 checks you can run in about 20 seconds. One of these was tested in 2019, then tested again this year. Same drug both times. Let's get into it. Every finding here comes from an FDA notification or an FDA safety alert. I'm naming the exact product the agency named. I'm saying nothing about other products from the same seller. This is consumer education, not medical advice. If you've taken any of these, talk to your doctor or your pharmacist. So how does a prescription drug end up inside a diet pill with nothing on the label? Start with the law. A drug has to be proven safe and effective before anyone can sell it. A supplement doesn't. It ships, and the testing happens later. Now here's the part that changed how I read that database. When the agency wants a contaminated supplement pulled, federal law says it has to offer the company a voluntary recall first. That's in the statute. Only after the company refuses can it start ordering. So look at what the FDA prints next to these products. Declined to recall. Firm has not committed to a recall. FDA unable to contact firm. The selling firm has not responded to calls or emails from FDA. That's not the agency being soft. That's the agency showing its work. A federal warning is a notice. It isn't a removal. Number 8, Toki Slimming Candy. This one bothers me because of the shape it comes in. Not a capsule. Candy. On June 24, 2025, the FDA said its lab found sibutramine in Toki Slimming Candy, not listed on the label. Sibutramine was pulled from the U.S. market in October 2010 for safety reasons. The agency says it can substantially raise blood pressure or heart rate. It also says it can interact with other medications in life-threatening ways. The FDA listed it as sold on eBay. Think about who buys candy, then think about where candy gets left in a house. The next one didn't hide a drug at all. It hid something the industry has a nickname for. Number 7, THERMO Shock. Pick up any fat burner and look for the word natural. Then look for a plant name you don't recognize. On November 22, 2024, the FDA said its analyses found DMAA and cyanophrine in THERMO Shock. Neither was on the label. DMAA is short for 1,3-dimethylamylamine. Companies have marketed it as geranium extract. The FDA has said flatly that DMAA is illegal in supplements. The agency says it can raise blood pressure and could lead to cardiovascular problems, including heart attack, and the FDA listed it as sold on the company's own website. Not a marketplace, their store. The next one is a coin flip. Number 6, ITCHA XS. Here's what makes this different from everything else on the list. The FDA tested more than one sample. On October 30, 2024, the agency said various samples of ITCHA XS contained either fluoxetine or bupropion, either one, depending on the sample. Both are prescription antidepressants. The FDA says bupropion can cause seizures, raised blood pressure, and unusual thoughts or behaviors. So two people buy the same box, same front panel, and swallow two different prescription drugs. The agency found this one in international mail. That isn't a bad batch. That's a lottery. And the next one didn't pick one drug either. It picked 4. Number 5, LipoFit Turbo. 4. That's the number that stopped me. On November 27, 2024, the FDA said its lab found sibutramine, metformin, fluoxetine, and furosemide in LipoFit Turbo. None of them on the label. Metformin is a prescription diabetes drug. The FDA says it can cause a rare but serious condition called lactic acidosis. Furosemide is a prescription water pill. So someone managing their blood sugar could take this alongside their real medication, with no idea the two were stacking. I'd put it back. You're about halfway. The next 3 are where the dates start doing the damage. Quick thing. If you're already seeing that shelf differently, hit like. It helps this reach the people buying it, and if you want to read any bottle like this yourself, that's what I built the Label Decoder for. The whole system, on paper. Links in the description. Number 4. Detoxi Slim. Now the thing I promised you at the start. On June 26, 2019, the FDA published a notification. Its lab found sibutramine in Detoxi Slim. That was 7 years ago. On July 14, 2026, the agency published an update. It had tested the product again. It said Detoxi Slim continues to contain sibutramine, not listed on the label. Read that again. 7 years between tests. Same finding. Nobody had to announce anything. Nobody had to change anything. The 2019 warning did exactly what a warning does, which is sit there. That's this whole video in one entry. And it isn't alone. In 2020, the agency flagged body shape weight loss system for sibutramine. It retested in 2024 and found sibutramine and phenolphthalein. The next 2 surprised me most. Number 3 involves a chemical ruled unfit for people in 1938. Number 3, LipoFit Extreme 2.0 Fat Burner. This one splits your day in 2. 1 bottle for the morning, 1 for the night. On June 4, 2026, the FDA said its lab found fluoxetine in the AM tablets. In the PM tablets, it found 2,4-dinitrophenol. 2,4-dinitrophenol goes by DNP. The FDA describes it as a toxic substance used as a pesticide, a dye, a wood preservative, and a herbicide. The agency says it isn't approved for any use. DNP was declared unfit for human consumption in 1938. That's 88 years ago. The FDA says DNP toxicity can cause dangerously high body temperature, rapid heart rate, cardiac arrest, and death, an industrial chemical, in the PM bottle. Of a 2-part fat burner, the last 2 are different in kind. Those were drugs. These are a plant. Number 2, DMagic Plus. This is one of the 3 added this morning. The FDA says DMagic Plus contains toxic yellow oleander and diclofenac. Diclofenac is a prescription anti-inflammatory. Yellow oleander is a poisonous plant native to Mexico and Central America. Here's how it gets in. Products get labeled as tejocote root or Brazil seed, which are real botanical ingredients. FDA testing found yellow oleander in there instead. Not added to. Substituted for. A third product from the same seller, Slim Elixir, went on the alert the same day. 3 products, 1 firm, 1 website, and that firm already had a product on this alert back in March. Next to all three, the FDA printed the same line. The selling firm has not responded to calls or emails. Number 1. B Magi. Same seller, same website, same morning. The FDA says B. Magi contains toxic yellow oleander and phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein isn't an active ingredient in any approved drug in this country. The FDA says studies have indicated it may increase the risk of cancer. And the agency's language about the plant isn't soft. It says these can cause neurologic, gastrointestinal, and cardiovascular effects that may be severe or even fatal. It's telling anyone who took them to contact a healthcare provider right away. Even if it wasn't recent, that's a federal agency saying, go get checked. Now let me be fair about what this list is and isn't. A finding is a snapshot of the samples that got tested. It doesn't prove every bottle ever sold contained the same thing. And several companies on the wider alert did recall voluntarily. The FDA also says plainly that this list covers a small fraction of what's out there. So if your product isn't on it, that proves nothing either. That cuts both ways, and I'd rather say it than sell you a panic. The repeats are worth knowing. Sibutramine came up over and over. So did phenolphthalein. So did prescription antidepressants. One product, Fatzorb, was flagged last July for sibutramine. 2 chemical cousins of it and phenolphthalein. 1 bottle. Now here are 4 checks. These aren't consolation prizes. Everyone comes from what the FDA itself tells people to do. Check 1 is the database. Before you buy, search the FDA's Health Fraud Product Database for the exact product name. It's free and it takes seconds. But remember the agency's own warning. Not being listed is not a clean bill of health. Check 2 is the phrase manufactured in an FDA-approved facility. The FDA says be cautious of that one because it doesn't approve facilities. That sentence is built to sound like an approval. Check 3 is the reviews. The FDA specifically warns that these products often carry piles of glowing reviews and get shared around on social media. A wall of 5 stars is not evidence here. The agency treats it as a warning sign. Check 4 is where you're buying. Look at where the FDA found these. Marketplaces, sellers' own sites, international mail. If a product only exists as a listing in an ad, nobody in the chain is standing behind it. If you keep one thing from this video, keep this. Natural is not a safety claim, and a warning is not a removal. And notice which claims describe a process and which describe a result. Made in a registered facility is a process. Tested by a named lab with results you can see is a result. Only one of those is worth anything. Here's the contrast that stuck with me. To sell you a drug, a company has to prove it's safe and effective first. The government reads the file before anyone can buy. To sell you a capsule for weight loss, none of that happens up front. The product ships. The testing comes later, and then the agency has to ask nicely before it can order anything off the shelf. That isn't a conspiracy, it's just the order the steps happen in. The label was written to fill that gap with confidence instead of numbers. So 3 questions to ask any product in this category tonight. Who tested this exact product, and can I see the result? Is it in the federal database right now? Does the front of the box promise something the back can't support? Go look at what's in your cabinet, then send this to whoever in your family buys this stuff online. And if you don't want to memorize any of it, my Label Decoder has all of it written down. There's a 1-page checklist you can screenshot in the store. It's linked below. Read the back. I'll see you in the next one.